you were me and didn't have. Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Chicago Bears. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Trubisky. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Now Brown. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. He'll try and run it. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. First carry now for Justice Hill. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Jackson on first down. And he's going to go down here a sack. They push him back to the 34. Khalil Mack coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Hey, double. 50 seconds. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous. Big air. Alert. Twins. Check 31.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Patrick Owasor drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. With it is Brown. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 7, Jackson, and he rifles one incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. He's coming. We got double up.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
18. Hey, Alpha. Hey, I'm coming. Slam. Check 37. Shift. Alert flare.
Now Trubisky to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And taken right at the 35. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run here with Ingram. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Check 52.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky looking deep for Gabriel. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab pivot, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different things for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check. Alert. Hey, orbit. Check 99. Check 99.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
To throw is Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Here comes Cohen. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Not today, you are. Not today. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. You don't want to see me. You don't want to see me. You don't want to.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Get ready. Get ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Under 10.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
No chance.
He can run for it, and he went. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Play action. Now Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tony Jefferson able to finally wrestle him down for what's just going to be a huge loss, and it takes us to 4th down as well. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. No gain, and it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot there...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Roquan Smith. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got it to Ingram, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage?
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 61 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Bears take over. Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. They go play action with Trubisky. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Pernell McPhee picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Play action. It's Trubisky. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Alert, 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 alert.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. This time, Jackson will throw it. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. The Ravens on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He may try and run for this. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. Now this time he'll look to throw. This one complete to Ingram. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And, in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The toss play to Montgomery. Montgomery, a 1st down and then some. And the cutback to the sideline. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 75 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
Alert, alert, alert. Let's go. 48, go, go. I got it. Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, we're going to mic the 48 right now. Let's go. You going to get this, boy?
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Pernell McPhee giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Alert.
On 2nd down now. It's Montgomery, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The last catch nearly got him at first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. He may try and run for this. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. So the final